So what's for dinner? The answer for far too many people every night is expensive takeout, fast junk food they get on the way home, maybe some other garbage that's in their pantry that comes in a box or a bag, or nothing at all. And it doesn't need to be that way. It's not that tough to easily and quickly prepare good, clean, healthy, delicious, nutritious food and do it every night. And I'm going to show you how, even if you're chicken to cook. Stay tuned. Well, hi everybody, Art Sobczak here, and welcome to the very first, The Art of Healthy Cooking, where Pamela Black, my partner and certified holistic health coach, and myself, a self-trained cook, show you how you can cook clean, good, healthy food at home that tastes really good, and it's not that tough. Now, we've been talking about putting this show together for quite a while, but of course life gets in the way, never got around to it. Until yesterday, we're at a new restaurant we're trying out for the first time. We had heard they had some good healthy choices, so we go there and Pam says, I'm going to get the organic half chicken. And I looked at her and I looked at the menu and I'm thinking, $26 for a roasted half chicken? I'd make this stuff all the time. And she said, will you make that for me tomorrow? Didn't you? So here I am, and I decided may as well film it as long as I'm doing it. So here we are. Now, a couple things about this show. This is the very first video I've ever done as a cooking show. So if you're used to my polished sales training, mistake-free videos, if you're used to those, I would suggest that you go watch some of those, because this is going to be a little bit different because I'm not quite sure how to actually do a cooking show, even though I've watched about 1 million of them. So from what I've seen from all those shows on the Food Channel, we're going to go through our ingredients first. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make a roasted chicken. I'm going to do it outside. Normally I would do it on one of my smokers, which I'll show you here in a little bit. But today, because everybody doesn't have a smoker, I'm going to show you how you can do it on your grill, make it absolutely delicious, and get a little smoke flavor in there as well. So let's go through the ingredients. First thing you need, of course, if you're going to roast a chicken, is a chicken. Now, you don't want to get the crappy chicken that is normally in the counter. You want to get an antibiotic, hormone-free, let's see, all vegetarian, 100% natural. You can get organic if you want. And somebody might go, oh my gosh, that's expensive. Yeah, it's expensive compared to the crappy chicken, okay? You know, if you ever watch those videos, what happens to those chickens in the coops, all right? Get a good chicken. This one was under 10 bucks, all right? That's an entire chicken. It's gonna be enough to feed, well, we're gonna have 4 people eating tonight, all right? And I'm gonna cut up this chicken in a little bit. And the side we're going to have today is actually pretty simple, and that's going to go actually right underneath the chicken. So all those delicious juices from the chicken are going to drip right onto that chicken, and actually that is good fat. You're going to be surprised at some of the things you learn in this show. All right, so what's going to go into the pan? Well, let me show you. Let's see. I've got some organic green beans. A lot of these things I actually just had in the refrigerator anyway. I've got some organic multicolored carrots. Aren't those beautiful? Not very many of them. We're going to cut those up here in a minute. We've got an organic red pepper. And actually one of my pet peeves is, why do they always got to put these stickers on there? You got to wonder about the glue on those things. All right, and we have an organic tomato that's going to go in as well. Got an organic onion. You see the theme here with the organic thing? Yeah, that actually is pretty important. We've got an organic green zucchini squash. And the interesting thing about zucchini squash is that they don't come from the zoo. Zucchini, yeah, all right. And then finally, we've got a actual real potato, organic potato, as opposed to a fake potato. No, actually, as opposed to a sweet potato. This is the only thing that isn't totally Pam approved, right?
Potato? Is it organic at least?
Yeah, it is actually organic. So here's the thing with potatoes, is that there's not a whole lot of nutritional value in potato, but boy, don't they taste good. But normally I will use, in place of potato, I will use white sweet potatoes when I'm doing a mash with lots of butter, lots of garlic, lots of seasonings, and it tastes actually better than a potato. But today we're gonna put potato in because we're gonna roast them in a pan. And then what else do I have here? We've got some organic chicken broth, okay? Get that at any store. We've got grass-fed Kerrygold butter that comes from grass-fed cows. Butter is actually good for you. As you're going to see during this series, you can eat as much butter almost as you want. So we'll be using that. I'm not quite sure where we're going to be using that, but everything goes better with butter, right? And then we've got some seasonings. Actually, I'm going to use this in the pan. This is duck fat spray. This actually comes from a buddy of mine, just started this company up, Dennis Schuett in Omaha, Nebraska. Duck fat is absolutely amazing as a fat. You can do almost anything with it that you'd use with regular fat. So you can get duck fat at duckfatspray.com. Duckfatspray.com. I'm not getting paid to promote this yet. Dennis, get that, all right? And then we're going to use some regular just black pepper. And then also some pink Himalayan sea salt, which is the kind of salt that you want to use all the time. And then this is a mixture of herbs, and I'm not even sure what is in this. I get this down in Mexico. I get this down at Cabo, so I always stock up when I go down there. But it's a mixture of some amazing herbs, and I know it's good, and I know it's for chicken because it says pollo on it. Yeah, pollo. That's the extent of my Spanish, other than cerveza and baños. All right, so those are all the ingredients. What do you say we dive in and start chopping? Okay, I'm not going to go too much into detail on how to carve a chicken. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there on that. We're just going to do it pretty quickly here. I do like to cut the chicken in half and cook it in half because a lot of people like to do beer can chicken, but that absolutely does nothing for you. Just drink the beer and throw the can away and cut the chicken, okay? Because the whole chicken is really not getting done according to the temperature that you need it done, all right? So we're gonna cook half chicken here. And we're just gonna do that. And that would hurt if that chicken was still alive. And here's how we're going to do this. We're just basically going to cut it like that. There are cleaner ways to cut a chicken, but we're just going to cut it right like that. Now, I am going to season the chicken right now, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator and let it dry a little bit. You see, that's the secret to getting a crisper skin. Matter of fact, if you ever wonder how a Peking duck gets so crispy, they actually air dry that thing for, I think, like 24, 48 hours, something like that. All right. So when I season the chicken, I like to pull the skin back a little bit. Make sure we get all the goodness, get all that seasoning in there, and we're gonna put that back. Put a little salt underneath there. Make sure you get all that. A little pepper on the chicken. Now here we're gonna put the little secret seasoning on there, the pollo seasoning. Now we very gently cover that up. Now, of course, you want to put a little seasoning on the outside because you got to eat some of the chicken skin. Makes it look good too on the outside. Makes it look like one of those grocery store chickens that many times aren't that healthy. Pepper on it. Oh, good chicken. A feather on there. Salt. Probably shouldn't be putting my fingers in the salt if this were a restaurant, we could probably get cited for that, but we're not a restaurant and don't plan on being. All right. So I am washing my hands in between the things that I'm doing here, as far as you know. All right, so now I'm just going to put this on my rack. You can get these racks at Bed Bath & Beyond or I think Linens and Things, if those things are still open. Or, of course, Amazon, which delivers to my house about once a day. So now we're going to take this and just take it over to the refrigerator and let it dry for about an hour or so. I'd do a shot of going over to the refrigerator, but the camera is already set up for this, and frankly, it's not a high level production here. So, all right, I've got the cut up chicken resting gently in the refrigerator. It's drying out a little bit so we get that good crispy skin. And also what I did in the meantime was, very importantly, I cleaned the cutting board, because anytime you cut up chicken, you gotta clean the cutting board if you're gonna be using it again. So what I did was I used this solution of bleach, acid
wash,
and I used a power washer that was heated up to 500 degrees. Not buying that, are you? Actually, I washed it in the sink with soap and water, but that's fine as long as it gets clean. The health department is not going to be visiting here, and it's not a restaurant. Don't plan on being one. Okay, so now we're going to chop up the veggies, and I got a lot of veggies to chop here. We don't have a whole lot of time. I don't think you want to watch me chop veggies in real time. And you've probably seen those Facebook videos where they got the really cool, fast motion thing. So through the power of video editing, we're going to be like the Facebook video thingy where we're going to do it really quickly. So it may not look as pretty as theirs, but it'll get the job done. All right, we'll see you in a second. All right, now we're going to add a little duck fat spray. Season that up with some salt and pepper. We'll put some of the chicken seasoning in there too. Oops, forgot the green beans. You know what else we need? Do a little garlic. Normally I use real garlic, but we're in a hurry to get the video done. So we'll use granulated Kirkland garlic. And just a little bit more. Mix those babies up. There. Okay, I told you we were going to cook the chicken outside, and first I want to show you just some of my smokers here that we're not going to use that I normally would use. Okay, let's go take a look. So first we have my big green egg here, which is actually probably the best multi-purpose cooker, smoker, roaster, baker, pizza oven that you'd ever want. Did I say pizza? Am I from the East Coast or what? No, I'm from the Midwest. Pizza cooker. I like pizza, Steve. Remember that movie, Multiplicity?
I like pizza. I like it.
All right, so big green egg is awesome. Now this is the one I would actually be cooking on, which I do most of the time. This is a pellet cooker. It's a Fast Eddie from Cook Shack. We used this in competition. I actually won some championships and money with this thing after we would cook on the big old stick burner, which was a regular barbecue grill that used charcoal and wood. But the Fast Eddie is almost like cheating because you can set it and forget it and actually gives you a nice subtle wood flavor. Over here, stuck in the corner all by itself, is a Weber Smoky Mountain, albeit a big deluxe one. This was actually one of my first smokers, not this one, but one of the first ones that I was learning on. And that is an awesome smoker as well. We've actually used that in competition also, but you can see it's stuck in the corner over there by itself. So I don't get to use it. I don't use it a whole lot unless I'm cooking a ton for a party. All right, let's go look at what we're actually going to use. Yep, we're going to use that. You probably have one of those in your backyard. Maybe not as crazy as mine because I'm kind of fanatical about my cooker. Some people collect cars. I collect, obviously, grills and smokers. But we're going to be cooking on a Twin Eagles, and I'll show you how we're going to set this thing up. All right, right now I'm burning off some of the grease that's left. I'm going to clean that here in a second, although the food's not actually going to be on the grill. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to use indirect heat because we don't want to grill the chicken or we don't want to grill the vegetables. So on the far left side, we're going to crank that up to probably about medium. The middle burner we're going to put on low, and then on the right side we're not going to have it on at all, and that's where we're going to place the meat because again we want indirect heat, we want it to roast just like an oven. And then also I'll show you the trick, not really a trick, it's pretty simple, where we're going to put a wood chunk in there and some tin foil and let that burn and get some good wood flavor. All right, I'm getting hungry. I don't know about you guys. Okay, for the wood, I've just got a small chunk of pecan wood here that I'm going to wrap up in the tin foil, just kind of loosely. And I'm only using one hand. I'm using the one-handed wood wrapping technique because I'm actually holding the camera with the other hand. And then what we're going to do is we're going to poke some holes in it. I'm going to put the camera down to do that because I do want to keep the rest of my fingers. Okay, you can see that I very precisely poke some holes in the bottom of the wood. And it's very important that you do this in a dexahedron pattern. No, I don't even know what the hell a dexahedron is because I think I failed geometry. Anyway, just poke some holes in the bottom so that the heat and fire can get to it and the light's on fire, okay? Okay, chicken's ready to go on. Next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna pour the organic chicken broth into the pan here. And then, very simply, we're going to put the chicken right on top. And those juices, just make sure that the chicken drips right into there. And all that goodness is going to drip right into the vegetables as they roast. All right, let's go outside. Okay, now we're going to put the chicken on. Now I've been preheating the grill, and you can see here, this thermometer is reading about 500 degrees. Now here's the important thing to realize about the thermometers that are built into the hoods of your cookers. That's giving you the temperature right at the top, which is always going to be hotter, in many cases about 50 degrees warmer. So actually the heat in there is only about 450, which is fine for cooking the chicken pretty quickly. I'm going to turn the burners down a little bit, and I want that reading at about 450 so that I can cook the chicken at about 400 and then get the vegetables done. All right, so let's put it on. All right, chicken has been placed onto the grill. Actually not onto the grill, the chicken is on my grill rack, which is on another rack, so it's not on the greasier grill rack, which I did clean by the way, but again, for the purists out there, you want to have it on your clean grill rack, and that's placed directly over the vegetables. And then over here we've got the wood chunk with the dexahedron pattern in the tin foil, or the random pattern cut with a knife, and hopefully that's going to start to smoke. Oh, it's already starting to smoke. I can smell that. Man, you smell that pecan wood. All right, so we're going to close the lid on this, and we're just going to let it cook for probably about 30 minutes before we check it. We're going to just check the temperature, make sure that thing gets back up to about 450 reading at the top. And actually, since I put the chicken up higher, we're probably going to get it to about maybe 425. All right, I'm about 20 minutes into it, and temp is just about perfect. Looked like it's about 425 up top. So chicken's probably about 400, which is about where I want it. And you can see the smoke just billowing out. Man, does that smell good. I'm tempted to open this thing up, but the old saying on the barbecue circuit is, if you're looking, it's not cooking. Okay, we're about 45 minutes in right now, and what I did off camera is that I actually turned the chickens around because there is a little bit of heat over here because this burner was on. So I turned it around to get some more even heat, and then I checked it with the thermometer to see how we're doing. Now this is a thermopin, and any serious cook needs to have one of these. It's a digital thermometer. Don't get the cheap stuff that you can get in the grocery store. Get a thermopin, invest in it. That one is about 125 bucks, although you can get them I think for about 30. By the way, food is done according to temperature, it's not done according to time. Also, what I did was I would let me grab my rag here. There, how's that for professional videographing? I took this and I shook up and stirred the vegetables a little bit, and also tested them. And realized that they weren't getting done as quickly. So as cooks, we make adjustments on the fly. So what I did was I actually turned the burner on over here just a little bit down to low so that we can give the veggies kind of a little crock pot effect, hopefully without grilling them too much. Again, normally I don't do this on the grill. Normally I do it in my smoker. So this is kind of a first time for me as well, but it's good and it's instructive for you guys, since if you're doing this on your grill, you will know. So let's give it about 15 more minutes. We'll come back and check the chicken temp. Right now the chicken is about at, let's turn this around. Oh, there you are. I'm doing a selfie with the big old ass video camera here, which normally you don't do. I'm not very good at selfies anyway. So the chicken temperature right now is about 142, and chicken is done at officially 165, although according to scientists it can be done at 145 if it's held like for 8 minutes at that. So we'll cook it to 165. At some point I'm going to show you my sous vide method of chicken, which actually we'll save that for another video. So anyway, we're going to come back. We're going to check it in about 15 minutes, and it's kind of heavy holding up this camera, so it's shaking. Got a shake effect. Ooh. All right, we believe it's done right now, so we're going to check it. So it's been in for about an hour and a half, and we're going to check the temperature. Remember, got to check it with a thermo pin. I said before, these are about 125 bucks for this size. You get a smaller one for about maybe 30 or 40 bucks. It doesn't matter as long as it's a thermo pin. Okay, so let's check it for temperature. I'm going to check the breast. That sounded kind of funny, didn't it? That is perfect. It's 163, and we'll check the thigh. Thigh normally can get a little bit warmer. Thigh's at about 170, which is fine. So this chicken is done. So what we're going to do is drop the rag, and we're going to take the veggies out first. Actually, I'm going to turn off the gas, and we're going to take the vegetables out because there's juice in here, which is a combination of the chicken broth and the drippings and the duck fat. And we're going to take this and we're going to drip some of that, or all of the juice actually, into a pan. We're going to reduce that a little bit, make some awesome gravy. All right, let's go. All right, here's all the delicious juices reducing. Man, doesn't that look good? I bet you could taste it right now. I'm bringing in the finished product. How's that look? By the way, you can tell I'm not doing a selfie. Nothing gets by you guys, does it? I've got a professional camera person. Hey, how's it going, Vicky? So there we go, finished product. There's the chicken all cut up. There's the veggies with the juicy, succulent fat and juices that dropped into them. Perfectly done. And I think it's time to eat. What do you say we plate this up? All right, I've got my panel here of tasters. This will be the final verdict. What do you think, ladies?
It's delicious.
All right, I think that's a thumbs up. Awesome.
Yum.
So there you go, delicious roasted chicken on the grill with vegetables with all those juicy drippings on them. See how easy that is, and healthy as well. Hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned. Come back for our next episode of The Art of Healthy Cooking. We'll see you then.